stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide.
What's up, everybody? We back. Facts over feelings. I'm Bobby Champion.
I'm Chris Staples.
Yes, sir. And today we are going to be discussing a lot of topics. You know, we got the Eastern Conference Finals going on. The Western Conference Finals just wrapped up. You know, we happy about that, man. But Chris, man, what's been going on in your world? What you been up to this week?
This week, what have I been doing? So I had actually had a crazy video that just dropped. It was the park takeover, pretty much.
Ooh.
Myself, Devontae Friga, White Iverson, some top YouTubers. You know, we all got in the same squad, and we just crashed the courts in West Covina, and we took it over, man. It was a crazy show. It felt like Rucker Park, really. It was like that type of energy. You know, we promoted it pretty much, saying we're going to be out there, and it was just crazy. You guys got to go check it out. You know, make sure you click the link below in the description. We'll have maybe a YouTube plug for that exact day. So Check it out.
Yeah, I saw some clips from that, and it was packed, too. I had a full house.
Yeah, if KD was a dunker, that's how I would have felt, pretty much at the park that day. You know, so that's kind of how it was. But it was dope. Go check it out.
That's fire. For sure.
So what do we get into today? It's facts over feelings. Let's talk about what's been going on lately in the NBA.
All right, man. So, you know, obviously, let's go ahead and start off with the Western Conference Finals this time. The Western Conference Finals just wrapped up. The Lakers, you know, they took out the Nuggets, and they did it in 5, like I said they would. They did it easily in 5. So, with that said, I need facts over feelings. So, you tell me, why were the Lakers able to stop the Nuggets from winning the elimination games? Because they've been undefeated in all their elimination games so far. They 6-0. The Lakers put an end to that.
Well, I mean, okay, facts. Facts is you've seen these guys come back twice in 2 different series. And so now when the Lakers, they got them up 3-1, you have a different mentality. Hey, we just saw what they just did in the previous series, so you really got to put your foot on their neck. Not saying that they wouldn't have won a series anyways, but the 3-1 series, what are the Nuggets known for now coming back? Right. And I think, you know, with people, championship players on the Lakers, they know what an elimination game means and the stakes that follow it. So, you know, when you have someone like LeBron, Rajon Rondo, even though JaVale McGee, hey, champion, 2-time champion. Danny Green, another champion. So that locker room is filled with leaders, guys who know what it takes to be on a championship team. They just wasn't going to let that happen, and that's just facts.
Okay. I agree, you know, with you supplied a lot of facts, but I'm going to give you a few other facts. I think, you know, the Nuggets, they obviously came out of, you know, losing 3-1 and coming back and all of that. But let's talk about some facts as far as LeBron is concerned. 16 out of 17 elimination games. That's how many he's won. Out of his past 17 elimination games to close out games, 16 of those games he's won. So
right.
He's a completely different beast that they were facing, I think, than the Clippers. And even with them, like you said, with them winning those other series, that might have been something that were in the Lakers' mind, like, okay, they have the potential to do that. But at the end of the day, I think that potential was nullified just by the fact that they were playing against a team that was really just better than them. And as far as matchups were concerned, I feel like they just didn't match up well with the Lakers. And that showed, you know, and I love the fact that towards the end, we saw LeBron step up and say, I'm going to check Jamal Murray. Or he literally waved somebody up before, oh, no, you scoot over. I got him. I want the best guy, you know. And that's, to me, those are the reasons that they won, you know. And
I do agree, and there's nothing to take away from LeBron or the Lakers for what they accomplished this series. But we have to also take into account that Jamal Murray, Jokic, probably pretty tired too. They also played a lot of games, you know, like a lot of minutes. I'm pretty sure right now Jamal Murray has probably docked the most minutes in the playoffs.
Close, but
Lakers haven't played more than 6 games, okay, in any series.
Right.
We're talking about with the
But
Nuggets.
that's the feeling. I'm telling you what you're saying right now. It's facts over feelings. So you said that what you said that I think that might be a feeling because I got some facts over here. I don't know.
Tell me how many
plays a lot of minutes in the series of the Stars. He is leading in minutes in that series.
100%.
In the playoffs, not.
In the playoffs, we're talking about how many overtimes did Utah and the Nuggets go into throughout that series? Not just one game. They had a few
You talking
games.
about total minutes or average minutes?
Total minutes.
Oh, total minutes. Okay.
Total minutes.
Okay.
We're talking about from every series, every game. Jamal Murray has played in every single game.
Right.
I don't know how many games have went into overtime, but I know they had a few games with Utah. They probably had an overtime game with the Clippers and then to go in with the Lakers. So the Lakers haven't had one game. They haven't had more than 6 games in any series. Right. So you can't say as far as minute goes. Jamal Murray has played every single game.
Yeah, he has.
Point.
Yeah. But I would give you a fact that's going to surprise you, especially once we pop up and start talking about the next series. You know, Jayson Tatum, and Jaylen Brown are both averaging 41 minutes in the playoffs, which is pretty absurd. And I think, you know, just so we stay on topic, I think in this series, that's also what hurt the Nuggets. I think that they would have stood a better chance against the Lakers if he hadn't played so many minutes. And I think from a rookie standpoint, not rookie standpoint, but from a coaching standpoint, Mike Malone being a younger head coach, I think that's something that he's going to have to learn from. Like, you do have to play your stars, but at the end of the day, you are eventually going to have to dig into that bench and give them some more opportunity because you saw Jamal Murray, like he just couldn't. Last night, he just wasn't moving the same. He was injured, and it's because of all of those minutes that you're talking about. So
that stuff starts to add up. You know, at some point, we were talking like, man, like even with the Clippers, I'm like, man, they're probably gassed. Even though they showed out and ended up winning, we both thought, hey man, they're probably pretty tired right now. They probably can't last another 7-game series, and they did. So just imagine going now. You're facing the beast, the Lakers. With AD and LeBron, you know, like I can't even imagine. And like you said, they were kind of broken down by the end. There were injuries piling up. As you see right now, I feel like Anthony Davis is kind of getting tired.
He is.
You know, he's breaking down a little bit. He's doing his thing, but he's fragile right now.
Yeah, he's always been a little fragile. But what I will say, I think that the Lakers training staff is prepared to, you know, keep him as healthy as they can. But when he was with the Pelicans, he had a lot of injury issues. But I attribute that to more so, I think, the organization more so than anything. But let's keep on moving. Let's keep moving. So that's the Lakers series. You know, the Lakers won. So I won't spend too much time on that because we're going to have a lot of time to talk about LeBron and the Lakers come final time. So let's talk about the Heat and the Celtics series. In the Heat series, Game 4, Tyler Hero puts up 37 points, and they win that game. What are your thoughts on that game?
I thought that was a great game by Tyler Hero. Just letting the game come to him, you know, and showing everyone like, hey, if I get hot, there's really nothing you can do at this point. I don't think that's going to be a consistent thing going further on into the playoffs. Like he is a great shooter, but to have a game like that, you know, I mean, I personally just don't see it. And there's no knock to him, you know, because the deeper we go into the playoffs, the more nervous people get. And, you know, I don't think guys are going to – he's that type of player right now at this stage that he's going to continue to put up numbers like that. So, you know, if he goes off for 38, you just got to tip your hat to him and give him his respect, you know, and he deserves it. But at the same time, you know, I don't see that just constantly happen. That's not something I have an expectation for. That's a plus.
Cool. So you were talking about Tyler Hero, Game 4. You don't think that he's going to be consistent as far as him doing this and him being young. I would actually say that's the great thing about the Heat. Like, I feel like the Heat, they have so many different weapons. And we just talked about Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. You pretty much know what their main point of attack is versus the Heat. You don't know who's going to come out cooking. It could be Duncan Robinson. It could be Crowder. It could be Butler. It could be Bam. And I think that in the long run, you know, we already have the Heat up in the series. I think that eventually they're going to end up taking the series. But we look at Jayson Tatum in Game 5, right? Game 5, the Celtics ended up actually winning and forcing the Game 6. Jayson Tatum scores, 17 points in the third quarter, and put on a show.
Star, bro. Superstar. He is about to be a superstar. I'm telling you that. I'm saying that right now.
We need that consistency, man.
I know you need the consistency, but Jayson Tatum is early 20s, and this guy is just taking on the leadership role and stepping up when he needs to step up. Yes, you're going to have games where he's going to lack a little bit, but the good thing with his counterpart as with Jaylen Brown, I think those two together are they are a reckon for the NBA. But I mean, at the same time, like you said, I feel like with the Heat, they have so many pieces, you know, and guys knowing their role that you really don't know who to attack or who to try to shut down for that day. Because right. I think going into the series, you're thinking, all right, don't let Jimmy Butler go off. But now you're like, Jimmy Butler had a couple games where he only had 14, 15 points and they winning. And you're like, he's chilling. You're like, I don't need the ball right now. We can really swing the rock to 81. I think that's going to be a great thing moving forward with the Heat because anyone can go off. And it's just right. It really comes down to how are they going to be in the clutch moments? Is it going to get to a point where no one knows who needs the rock at the time? Because if you look back into the Clippers series, the Clippers look, you know, they look deep on their bench or just their roster is deep. But when it came down to clutch moments, everyone just kept passing the ball to Kawhi and didn't want the ball. And I don't think the Heat, they're that team. They can swing it to pretty much anybody who's on that starting five, and they're not afraid to take the shot.
So, okay. So that would actually move us into the next question. So as far as a better matchup for the Lakers, you would say, give me some facts. You have the Celtics or the Heat as a better matchup as far as to potentially beat the Lakers.
Facts. I would say the Heat is the better matchup for the Lakers because they do have the shooting, they have the defense. And I think with size, I mean, it's going to be tough to guard Anthony Davis. But a person like Bam, I think, is ready for the challenge. And I think Bam's going to give a person like AD problems when he's on offense as well because he is a strong guy. He can take the mid-range. And I think they will match up better. I think the Lakers will be a favorite because Lakers do have the size. So when Bam is not in the game, you bring in a Dwight Howard, you know,
right.
who's going to be a force inside, and that's going to be a problem. I just think it's going to come down to coaching at the end of the day. Eric Spoelstra's a really good coach, and he's made a lot of good adjustments throughout this series. It's just been a back and forth, and so I would have to say the Heat. Even though I like the Celtics better, and I wish the Celtics would be going to the finals versus the Heat, I would just say matchup-wise, the Heat would give the Lakers more problems than the Celtics would.
Yeah. I love the point about Eric Spoelstra because the one thing that we forget, 2 out of the 4 years that LeBron did win with the Heat, you know, all 4 years actually, he coached LeBron. So if anybody's going to potentially know how to stop that man, it will probably be Coach Spo. So
I thought the same thing about Malone because he was also LeBron's coach at one point too.
Yeah.
But, you know, but you're right, Eric Spoelstra, you saw championship LeBron and coached him a lot longer as the head coach. So he probably has more insight on what LeBron's weaknesses may be, and he can probably expose those.
His weaknesses, his mentality, some of the things that he's going to like to go to now that is getting closer because you can actually see that LeBron is playing different now, like especially with Rondo on the floor. You know, I was actually looking at some stats earlier, And now you have Rondo on the floor who's averaging 7.4 assists in the playoffs. LeBron's leading with assists as far as the conference finals are concerned, with 9. But now you have Rondo who's giving them 7.4. And so now LeBron's able to get to that post more, actually count on someone getting him the ball. Because I have to be honest, I made a point, I was talking about, I was arguing with somebody about how Giannis can't get the ball in the post, and he was talking about the players that actually get it to him. I was like, man, anybody can pass the ball in the post. But I was wrong, because I've seen Danny Green try to make some entry passes to LeBron in the post. And man, we need to get back to the basics with ball fake, bounce. Like, it's crazy. But now that he has that, he has somebody there to help him with that and put him in better positions to score. And I think that's where Spo, he's going to know, like, all right, he's going to be on the block this time. He's going to try to ISO you on the wing. He's going to get it here. And
I think LeBron's going to do what he's doing right now is kind of like showing the league too, hey, I can get down to that post and make it an issue for everybody in the game, get everybody in foul trouble. I think he's going to be doing a lot of that in this. If they're playing the Heat in the finals, I think he's going to do a lot of that because Bam has to guard Anthony Davis. So I'm like, who on the Heat is going to be able to guard LeBron in the post? Jimmy Butler's nice, but he's no one stronger than
Jay Crowder is a pretty good match. He's had some pretty good battles with Jay Crowder. I would say that he's a pretty good defender, and I think he defends LeBron pretty well, as best as you can defend, a LeBron James. But I think they have some good matchups. And if I had to pick the two who I would want to see them play, obviously the Boston Lakers, like that has the whole historical standpoint.
Right, and that's one thing I was thinking about as well. Like, to see that right now would be great. That's what the basketball guys will probably try to set up at the end of the day anyway. So
yeah, but I think it's a new rivalry coming, man. We got the Heat, and we had the Lakers potentially. That's where LeBron won his first rings at, and it was some animosity there when he left. Pat Riley was upset, publicly about that. So I'm really interested to see that. And Shaq said the other night, apparently, he has some inside details on that they actually want the Heat. So,
that's good. That's good to know. Who do you think wins tonight? Do the Heat close it out, or do Boston put it to a Game 7?
I'm gonna give you some facts. Facts. Okay, the Heat have not lost back-to-back games in the playoffs yet. So, I think that trend will stick. I think that once they do lose, they really hit the drawing board and they find out, like, all right, cool, let's watch tape. Let's find out why we lost, what's going on. And I think they're going to really come out and put the clamps on Jayson Tatum. And if Kemba Walker doesn't have more than 20 points and Jayson Tatum doesn't have more than 25, they will not win tonight. I assure you of that. Who do you have?
I'm giving you some feelings.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you feelings. I feel like the Celtics gonna push this to a Game 7.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Celtics gonna push. Even though I feel like the Heat are a better matchup for the Lakers, I feel like these two teams are very evenly matched.
Yes, I agree with
They're neck and neck. It really comes down to a couple plays almost every single game that make the game.
True.
Because it could have went either way. A couple of these games where you're like, well, this could be a tie series right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's been more than like a 10-point win in all of the games.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
It's been pretty close. Outside the last game, I feel like Boston pretty much were playing desperation ball, but at the same time, they made up. I mean, Jayson Tatum just turned up. He went crazy. So I feel like Boston pushes it to a Game 7. And then I'm thinking the Heat they won't lose 3 in a row. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, so you still
Boston comes out here, I like players like Marcus Smart because he's just a dog. He's not gonna back down. He's not afraid to take the shot.
I like him too.
He plays excellent on defense. I think he's gonna be a big factor today. And I think if he gets going early, I believe Jayson Tatum will be getting double teamed. He will have a lot of different bodies thrown at him, but the others with the Boston Celtics will step up. And I think Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown will be a big factor. Gordon Hayward. I'm waiting to see Gordon Hayward finally have a big game. Today could be a big game.
I don't know.
I'm talking about 20 points, like not 30 points. But if Gordon Hayward goes out there with a 20-point game, you don't have to worry about a Kemba Walker. Don't think Gordon Hayward can't do that. Don't think he can't do that. Let's say if
I'm
he
not
does.
saying he can't, but I would wonder what the odds are in Vegas on him having a 20-point game. Like I would love to see that. It's got to be. I don't know. I'll have to look, but I bet
Probably has
minimum plus 8.
He has the freshest legs in the playoffs. Okay, he has the freshest legs in the playoffs.
All right, I'm not gonna take no shots off because I wish that man to get healthy as possible so he can play. So, freshest legs in the playoffs. I don't know about that one.
He just came back. He just came back.
He literally had a devastating ankle injury and then had another injury. And every game he almost seems to tweak his ankle. Like,
oh no, I think Gordon Hayward. This is Gordon Hayward. He's gonna step up to that. That's my belief. We're gonna talk about that later, but that's just a feeling. I know your facts over feelings, but that was just my feeling.
I tell you, yeah, I was about to make a wager. Like, if he wins, if he has, matter of fact, yeah, I will. If Gordon Hayward has 20 points tonight, if you have this feeling, I will find a Gordon Hayward Celtics jersey and I will wear it next episode.
Oh yes. Now I gotta call Gordon real quick. Hey, G, I need you right now. I need you. They down you today. But that's just my feeling. But I'm saying Celtics win tonight, push a game 7.
Okay.
Basketball is not over yet. Okay.
Hey, I hope they do go game 7 because that series has been amazing to watch. Amazing. So moving real quick, just to wrap up, I got a couple of last little questions and topics to talk about, which are going to be, we had a draft coming up. Finally, has been delayed a couple of times. And last night, they showed a couple of the top draft picks on TNT, James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, Obi Toppin, and obviously we're in LA, so we have to talk about LaMelo Ball. Interestingly enough, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 1 for the pick. The Warriors are 2, Charlotte is 3, okay? So out of those 4 players, if you had to pick one, you're starting your franchise, okay? Which one are you picking? Wiseman, Edwards, Ball, or Toppin?
I'm picking Wiseman.
Wiseman, okay.
Yep. He's been NBA ready for about 2 years, all right?
So you've been watching this kid.
He's been NBA ready for about 2 years. So he's already coming into the league with expectations of being a great player. Not like, oh, he's going to develop the first year. No, he's going to probably have the ball that first year. So I think bringing him in and having him with Cat and D'Angelo Russell at the same time, I think that they're going to be an issue. They want to win a lot of games. I'm going to say a lot of games, but they could be a playoff contending team adding Wiseman to that team.
Yeah. I mean, do you actually think that they are going to take Wiseman, though, and they have Cat already? You think they're going to double up with the Twin Towers in today's NBA?
Can Cat shoot from anywhere on the court?
He's a decent
Can he play multiple positions? Can he guard multiple positions? I think by having both of them, you really have that's tough to have 2 players who can do all those, have those intangibles at that position. I think adding him to the team will be you have to add some type of like dynamic to the team where it's like, well, you know what, they have both of these guys. So any other team that plays them, they're going to have to play big. They're going to have to play big in order to get some type of reaction, some type of offensive flow, because those guys can guard multiple positions. They can guard any 4s in the league. And at the same time, they can also shoot. They can also go out there and actually be a part of that pick and roll. I think adding those 2 together would be different for the Timberwolves, but at the same time, it'll add crazy dynamic it'll make other teams really have to bring out their bigs.
Yeah. So that's tough. I like James Wiseman a lot. He's really versatile. But I have to be honest, man. I have to go with the one that I see that has the most like star power. We out in Cali. I will have to, pick LaMelo Ball. That's if I was the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, if I was the Warriors, I'm taking Wiseman at that center spot all day. We already had a shooting We got somebody to secure that paint. Give me that. But as far as the if I'm the Wolves, I'm probably taking LaMelo. I feel like he's a playmaker, great passer, great shooter, fits today's NBA, excellent. And I don't know just how that would work in today's NBA with the 2 7-footers. Like, we really saw how the Rockets eliminated even, 2 players from even being able to play with JaVale McGee and Dwight. Now, Wiseman may be more versatile, but I don't know if he's putting the ball in the basket from the 3-point line like that to be able to stay in the game, and if he's able to switch off and check players like James Harden, et cetera, even though many players can't check him. But that would be interesting to see. But that would be my pick, LaMelo. You like Wiseman? Yeah, for sure.
My number 2 is LaMelo.
Oh, your number 2 is LaMelo? Okay.
Hey, who's the number 2 pick?
It's the Warriors? The Warriors. It's the Warriors, yeah.
And that's what I would go with. I would think LaMelo will be back out here in Cali.
You like LaMelo with the Warriors?
Yeah, I like that.
3 splash bros, huh?
Yeah, I think that is, you add LaMelo to that team. No, he doesn't start, but it's fine because he will be first off the bench, and he will be in the game with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry at times. And that's where I think the dynamic, this is a shooting team. Now, if the Warriors go and grab another big man, don't have to be a draft. It could definitely be a trade because we still haven't seen, there are other free agents out there. There are going to be big players. I think Serge Ibaka might be a free agent coming into the Warriors. Could be a possible Warrior.
Grant is a free agent from the Nuggets. People are going to want him.
Oh, yes. Another player who can play multiple positions, guard all 5 positions, and shoot the ball. Great on defense, great rebounder. I think the Warriors add another shooter and just make it just that much more difficult. Just think if you have LaMelo Ball running point guard. Just picture.
And he's a willing passer, too. He's a very willing passer.
Just think if you have LaMelo Ball running point guard and you have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry running the wings. I'm gonna let you think about that, all right? I'm gonna let you think about that. You tell me that, and Draymond sitting in the middle of the paint with a center, with a real center, like maybe like a Serge Ibaka, or maybe you bring in, like you said, Jeremy Grant, who's very versatile around the rim. I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah, that's a tough squad. That's a tough squad. That's very tough. I just want to see LaMelo in the league and doing well, man. Like, right. I'm very excited about that. There's been a lot of anticipation built up around him, especially being out here, So, but that's all that we have for today, man. So that's Facts Over Feelings, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment. Chris, what you got?
Man, make sure you guys, like you said, like Bobby said, make sure you comment below. Let us know what other topics you want to hear. We'll bring it out. We'll always bring you the facts. Sometimes we'll bring you feelings, but you know what? It's really facts over feelings. I'm Chris Staples. Thanks, guys, for watching. More to come. Let's get ready for tonight's game, man.
Yes, sir. Let's go. We out. Make sure y'all go check out that new multiply video, too. Link down in the description, man. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace out.
Stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide. Came to conquer, we don't divide. I'm a king, do it for the pride.